mother's baby brother. My first memories of Uncle Dick are from when I was a young boy. My parents had to go out of town and decided I'd go stay with Uncle Dick. I didn't want to go. I knew Nancy, she was really sweet. I knew Kathy and Kristen, but they were girls. How much fun could that be? I knew Uncle Dick. He seemed kind of stern, a little gruff, maybe a little scary. Now, I don't want to say your parents lied to their kids, so let's just say embellish the story then. After my parents described Uncle Dick's farm as a wondrous country resort complete with petting zoo, I wanted to go. I learned several things at Uncle Dick's. They drank milk that was thicker, tasted different than the store-bought. You had to eat your vegetables, even cooked spinach. Yeah. The next day, Uncle Dick got me up. It was still dark. Didn't know you could get up when it was still dark out. We had chores to do. Chores, farm word, meaning work. He let me milk the cow. He showed off squirting milk in the barn cat's mouths. We collected eggs. Now picture a chicken sitting on a nest, and you're supposed to stick your hand in and get that egg. Really? I learned that Uncle Dick was not so scary after all. And you know what? Girls can be fun too. When I think of Uncle Dick, I think of four things: family, fishing, photography, and the farm. First and most important in his life was his family. He was born January 8, 1939 to Rosetta and Oscar Matz. He was number 11 of 12 children. The children in order were Mildred, Martha, Elmer, Lowell, Ellen, Harold, George, Marge, Robert, Crystal, Dick, and Don Wayne. Don Wayne died at age 1.5, leaving Dick to be the youngest of the family. As I read those names, that's over 100 years of history, and they're all gone now. I visited Uncle Dick a few weeks ago, and we were talking about the family, and he had a nurse that checked on him weekly, and he told me in a humorous tone, "The nurse keeps asking me if I can name my brothers and sisters." And he laughed, and he said, "Where do I start?" Uncle Dick graduated Mishawaka High School in 1957. He obtained an associate's degree in electrical engineering technology from DeVry Technical Institute in 1960. He worked in the School of Engineering at Purdue for 45 years. And although I'm an IU graduate today, I wore Purdue colors in honor of this event. He held several positions, including computer engineer. He taught lab class, ran the computer lab, and team taught the senior design class. He maintained a close relationship with his siblings, especially George, Marge, and Crystal, and he looked to brothers Harold and George for fatherly advice. Sister Marge cared for Dick when his mom went to work, and he called her "my sweet Margie," and they had a special bond. Even though Dick lived in Lafayette, he maintained close contact with his family. The Matz family had many family gatherings through the years, and it was always more special when news spread that Uncle Dick and the family would be attending. I am told that Uncle Dick often told stories of times with his brothers and sisters, and that some of those were his happiest times that he ever spent were with his siblings. Uncle Dick had 2 children, Kathy and Kristen. I asked them to use some words to describe their father. They said, loved his family, loyal, protective, intelligent, creative, humorous, generous, strong-willed. Kristen shared a Father's Day card that she had given her dad, and I'm going to share just a portion of it with you. Good job, and thank you for all the years of advice, favors, gifts, loyalty, and concern. The bonfires built, the wagons pulled, stories told. The straw tunnels constructed, the sneezing fits quelled by the use of the scare tactic. Card games dealt, technology explained, family history imparted, the algebra, geometry, and calculus demystified. The The funniest notes and sketches left to find, the long jokes told, photographs taken, shared, and archived, the mean tricks pulled, boyfriends endured, creepy crawlies killed, crisis calmed, and sleds dragged up and down the hill. Kathy remembered fondly a day she stayed home from school and Dick stayed home from work. And just Kathy and Dick went fishing, and how it was a special time to spend one-on-one with their father. Both children recalled quiet times growing up just reading by the wood stove, listening to Purdue basketball games, Dick reading The Night Before Christmas, and ringing sleigh bells at the bottom of the stairs on Christmas morning. All wonderful memories of a man they affectionately called Daddy. Strong-willed was a trait mentioned, which is common in the Matz family. Dick knew and overcame hardship. His first wife, Nancy, died when he was 47 years old. And at this time, Kathy and Kristen were both away in college. Dick was truly an empty nester. Many people would have not been able to go on, but not Dick. He adapted. He started bowling in a league, attending meetings, going to dances. He forced himself to be more social. About a year later, he was at a festival with Kristen when he spotted a familiar face in the crowd. And Kristen says, poof, he was gone. He was over talking to some woman. This woman was Darlene. Dick recognized her as one of Nancy's ICU nurses. Dick called her a few days later, and as they say, the rest is history. One of the first things that attracted Darlene to Dick was that he read. She remembers telling a girlfriend, he reads, and he likes to talk about books. She described him as loving, fiercely loyal, and with an immensely forgiving spirit. Darlene started coming to Matt's family gatherings, and she had to pass the scrutiny of the protective Matz family women. She said the first 4th of July that 2 of the sisters stood by and stared at her. And Dick said that if Robert wants to show you the barn, don't go. She continued to come to family parties, including enduring a terrifying ultralight ride while pilot cousin Mike just laughed and laughed. Then at one of the parties, I heard someone say something about Dick, and Aunt Martha, George's Martha, declared, "Oh no, Darlene won't put up with that." It was then that I knew that you had won the Matz Women endorsement, and you were now considered one of them. Dick and Darlene were married June 1st, 1996. Now Dick had 2 more children, Jay and Betsy. Jay fondly remembers fishing trips, fall parties, making cider, hay rides, and especially working one-on-one with Dick building a crib for Betsy. Betsy's favorite memories are planting trees, riding the tractor, bucket golf, ping pong, and playing euchre with Dick doing a lot of smack talk. Kathy's comment on the smack talk was, "Oh, how very Matz." Dick also loved the role of grandfather to Lily and Katie, making a beautiful toy box and crib for them, frequently talking on Skype and Facebook, worrying about them when they had the sniffles, and receiving homemade notes and drawings. Dick loved all his family, and his family loved him. After family, I think of fishing. Uncle Dick was an avid fisherman. He often took vacations to various lakes to fish with family and siblings. He spent many happy hours fishing the streams, rivers, and lakes in the area with good friends Barrett Robinson and Chiman Ung. I recall many times fishing for catfish at Uncle George's pond. Uncle Dick's other main hobby was photography. He loved to take pictures. His love of the camera started with an old box camera as a young boy and continued his entire life. He truly was an expert. He understood the technical aspects like shutter speed, aperture setting, f-stop, and lighting. At my wedding, we paid for a professional photographer, but every one of Uncle Dick's photos were far better than anything we had paid for. He was a perfectionist regarding photos. At Dick and Darlene's wedding, he handed me his heavy, fancy camera and said, "You take the pictures." I did my best taking pictures during the wedding. I never really heard how they turned out. But I can tell you that Dick never asked me to take pictures again. The last thing that comes to mind about Uncle Dick is the farm. For 43 years, he lived on a 40-acre farm. Dick loved that farm and being a farmer. He planted hundreds of trees and learned to garden by the best organic methods. He loved the wildlife and birds and maintained the property to create the ideal habitat. For years, he cared for milk cows, pigs, goats, chickens, all providing important resources to the family. His family talks about what a good steward of the land he was and how the farm taught them the circle of life. Family gatherings often were farm-related, making cider, homemade ice cream, bonfires, and hay rides. The farm was an integral part of who he was. For years, the family would receive a newsletter written from the farm. My understanding is that it started as a 6th grade English project and kind of continued on. It was like an annual newsletter of family happenings, usually published around Christmas time. The newsletter was called the Patchwork Press, and it was never really straight news. It always had a creative spin or humorous flair to the stories. So I thought I would submit an article for the next edition of the Patchwork Press. The headline reads, "Patchwork Farm Says Goodbye to Patriarch." On January 1st, 2016, Richard Lee Matz passed away surrounded by his loving family. News of his passing quickly spread throughout the farm. Unknown to the mourning family, the spirits of the farm came alive to show their last respects. Neatly put away, the beloved camera bowed its shutter in respect to the man who so often expertly cradled its body and lens, dialing in the perfect picture, changing settings to make it just right. The computer in his favorite spot lowered its power and dimmed its lights. No more updates, debugging, programming, scanning, cataloging, typing, calendars, or hardware replacement from the man who maintained the system. Outside his beloved New Holland tractor shed an oily tear. No more plowing, planting, mowing, digging, scooping, or pulling the wagon for hay rides. The woodland creatures quickly gathered together to console themselves. The deer, fox, coyotes, squirrels, raccoon, possum, and groundhogs all would miss the man who would often walk among them. The man who maintained the woods, the grass, and the grain where they lived and survived. The hundreds and hundreds of trees the man planted hung their branches in somber respect. As he left the farm for the final time, unseen by the mourning family, a wondrous display unfolded. The many songbirds of the farm flew in a missing man formation, singing a requiem for the man who knew them all by name, type, genus, and species. Lining the driveway were the spirits of all the farm animals of the past: Mulu, Dodder, Sunshine, Sunny, Dandelion, Ernie, Fred, Joe, Cupcake, Tiger, Midnight, Gray Girl, and Bugger. All stood in strict formation with an arm extended straight to their forehead in royal salute to the man who cared for them so well. The farm says farewell, old friend. Thank you for a job well done. In closing, I'd ask that you close your eyes for a moment. Remember a happy time. Remember Dick's laugh. And may all the happy memories remain forever in your hearts and minds. Thank you.